Welcome to Channel Sectors. Canada isn't a supplicant seeking American protection. It's a sovereign nation with its own interests, resources, and global relationships. Trump's inability to grasp this basic reality has driven Canadian policy in directions that ultimately weaken American influence. The meeting also highlighted Trump's broader struggle with multilateral relationships. The United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, which Trump himself negotiated and praised as superior to NAFTA, is up for review in 2026. But instead of using the scheduled review process to address legitimate concerns, Trump has chosen to wage economic warfare through tariffs. This approach has backfired in multiple ways. Mexico, also a USMCA partner, was notably spared from the August tariff increases that hit Canada. This differential treatment has pushed Canada to consider whether its interests might be better served through bilateral relationships rather than trilateral ones. Carney's strategic patience contrasts sharply with Trump's impulsive decision-making. While Trump tweets threats and imposes tariffs based on daily mood swings, Carney has methodically built Canada's economic resilience. The Canadian government has increased its regional tariff response initiative from $450 million to $1 billion, specifically to help businesses adapt to the new reality. The psychological dimension of the relationship cannot be ignored. Trump clearly prefers Carney to his predecessor, describing him as a world-class leader and a tough negotiator. But this personal rapport hasn't translated into policy concessions. If anything, Carney has proven more resistant to American pressure than Trudeau ever was. This dynamic reflects a broader shift in Canadian politics. The previous government's approach of trying to manage Trump through personal relationships and careful diplomacy has been replaced by a strategy that prioritizes Canadian economic independence. Carney's willingness to impose retaliatory tariffs and his emphasis on reducing dependence on American markets represents a fundamental change in how Canada views the relationship. Trump's claim that Canada would walk away very happy from their meeting rings hollow when examined against the actual outcomes. Canadian sources describe their expectations as modest, hoping for partial relief on steel tariffs that might create a framework for future negotiations. This isn't the language of a country expecting major concessions. It's the language of a country managing a difficult relationship with an unpredictable partner. The timing of the meeting also reveals Trump's weakening position. With American farmers demanding bailouts, manufacturers struggling with higher input costs, and polling showing increasing public concern about the economy, Trump needs a trade victory more than Carney does. The Canadian Prime Minister can afford to be patient. His domestic political position doesn't depend on immediately resolving the trade dispute. Trump's tariff strategy was supposed to demonstrate American strength and force trading partners into submission. Instead, it has revealed the limits of economic coercion when dealing with sophisticated economies that can adapt and retaliate. Canada's response has been particularly effective because it combines immediate tactical moves like the retaliatory tariffs with longer-term strategic shifts toward economic independence. The meeting between Trump and Carney represents more than a negotiation over trade policy. It's a test case for whether Trump's transactional approach to international relations can succeed with America's closest allies. The evidence suggests it cannot. Countries with deep economic integration, shared security interests, and democratic governance structures require different diplomatic approaches than emerging markets or authoritarian regimes. As both leaders continue their discussions, the fundamental question remains: will Trump recognize that his aggressive approach has weakened rather than strengthened America's position, or will he continue to treat trade as a zero-sum game, driving allies toward economic independence and alternative partnerships? Carney's patient, strategic approach suggests he's prepared for either outcome. His government has built the policy infrastructure to weather continued American hostility, while remaining open to genuine partnership if Trump changes course. This flexibility gives Canada significant advantages in any extended trade dispute. The October 7th meeting may have been cordial, but it exposed a fundamental weakness in Trump's trade strategy. When the President of the United States has to praise a foreign leader's negotiating skills while imposing punitive tariffs on that same country, it reveals a policy approach that has lost coherence. Trump's trade war with Canada isn't just failing. It's actively undermining American interests and strengthening Canadian resolve to chart an independent course. The real question isn't whether Canada will walk away very happy from these negotiations. It's whether America will recognize that its aggressive approach to its most reliable ally has been a strategic disaster that needs to be reversed before the damage becomes irreparable. It's good to have you. The October 7th meeting between Trump and Carney was far more than a routine diplomatic photo op. It was a moment that laid bare the deep flaws in Trump's hardline terror strategy. While Trump publicly spoke of mutual love and insisted that Canada would walk away very happy, the truth painted a starkly different picture. His own economic policies are quietly eroding America's prosperity. To grasp the full significance of this meeting, we need to look back to February 2025, when Trump followed through on his campaign pledge to impose harsh tariffs on some of America's closest allies in a move that stunned the international community. Trump slapped a 25% tariff on all Canadian imports, citing border security and fentanyl concerns.